What's up, guys? Fantasy Joe back here with our mock draft Monday. Today, I'm going to be drafting in a half-point PPR league from the 104. Got a 1 QB, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 flex league. Going to be hopping into this draft in a second. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button down below. If you like the video, hit the like button and leave all your questions or comments down in the comment section down below as always. If you guys haven't seen, I just put out a video, an actual NFL mock draft of the NFL draft that's coming up this Thursday. Check that video out. Also, check out all our other previous mock drafts if you would like to. And yeah, let's hop into this draft. So, drafting from the 104, we'll see who we get in the first round. Okay, so Christian McCaffrey drafted, Dalvin Cook drafted, Alvin Kamara gone. Now we've got Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Devontae Adams, Jonathan Taylor. I normally think I would take Derrick Henry over Saquon Barkley because Derrick Henry is coming off of leading the league in rushing the last 2 seasons. Saquon's been injured the last 2 years. I just worry about the injury history of Saquon Barkley a little bit now, and Derrick Henry's been steadily just dominating football for the last 2 years, so that's the reason I'm going to take Derrick Henry with this 101 pick. They're getting Taylor Lewan back as well, their left tackle, who he didn't have last year when he ran for over 2,000 yards. So who knows what he could do this season. All right, let's take a look at some of these players. Okay, so they got me deciding in between Gibson and A.J. Brown. So after my pick, I took Derrick Henry, then I went Saquon, Jonathan Taylor, Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones, Tyreek Hill, Nick Chubb, Ezekiel Elliott, J.K. Dobbins to round out the first round, Stephon Diggs to kick off the second round, Cam Akers, Travis Kelce, DeAndre Hopkins, Austin Eckler, DK Metcalf, Calvin Ridley, and DeAndre Swift. Now to my pick. George Kittle still available. He'd be an interesting player to take. I really do like A.J. Brown this year in fantasy. I think he is just going to dominate that target share in Tennessee. That said, I already drafted Derrick Henry, who's also from Tennessee. No reason you can't take both, but I'd like to diversify a little bit more than that. I'm going to take Antonio Gibson here, lock in my top 2 running backs, and then boom. A.J. Brown actually did get to us this next round. I do have A.J. Brown ranked ahead of Julio and these guys, but I think I might try to wait one more round, start this draft RB. Actually, George Kittle's still available, so I'm going to draft him. I'm going to draft George Kittle here, so we're going to running back, tight end. Get George Kittle in that 3rd round. I think he's a great value. I think people are forgetting just how good he is in football when he's playing in fantasy football, giving you that positional advantage, similar to the Travis Kelce, similar to the Darren Waller. And he's got extreme athleticism to be able to take the ball 80 yards for touchdowns, which not many tight ends have, and is the number 1 option on his team. So I really do like taking George Kittle there. Some solid running backs available. I'm going to take Amari Cooper, actually, though. I think people have fallen too far on Amari Cooper and the entire Dallas offense. Coming off that injury play 2020. I'm going to take Amari Cooper here, get my first wide receiver, and I think he is a good value there. CeeDee Lamb's available here. I don't want to take 2 Dallas wide receivers. I think they'd probably be all right. There's going to be some off weeks, though, for sure. So I'm probably going to take Cooper Kupp here. And round out my starting lineup with those players. Need a flex and a quarterback still. Okay, so let's see. Raheem Mostert still available at running back. He's pretty interesting. Ronald Jones is still available. Juju's still out there. I'm going to take Raheem Mostert because he's like one of the last running backs I think is like a solid option. Snagged him up there. Deebo Samuel is still available. I'm going to lock him in here because get some receiver depth as I pass on a lot of those guys. Even though I got Raheem Mostert, I'm not that worried about taking Deebo Samuel or anything like that. Lock him in. I think he's a talented wide receiver. You guys can see I talk about Deebo Samuel in the Dynasty Buy Low video, the second one with the cover. In that second video. Let's see. James Conner still available. I think he gets a lot of the goal line work in Arizona. I know a lot of people are still thinking it's Chase Edmonds, which I think is a little bit wild to me. I think Chase Edmonds can still be very valuable for fantasy. Don't get me wrong. Don't think James Conner's a fantasy star by any means. But he is the larger back, and I do expect him to get a lot of those inside zones on the goal line, which Kenyon Drake got last year, which helps save in a lot of his fantasy value. I'm going to take Jerry Jeudy here. I think it's between Jerry Jeudy and James Conner for me here. And I'm going to take Jerry Jeudy. Maybe James Conner can get to me. Probably not, but we'll see. He was taken. Devin Singletary is still available. I'll take him here. I feel like he's a solid bench back in case one of their guys go down. They currently don't even have another running back. I expect them to address it in the draft, but let's say they don't. I think Devin Singletary will be the starter. And Phillip Lindsay's still available. I think he is the starting running back for the Houston Texans by the end of the season. So I'm going to take him here. He's the most talented running back on the roster. I think in that situation, you have to bet on talent. Whoever you think is the most talented player, I'd bet on that guy. You can take Cole Beasley here, second team All-Pro, too many years. One year being last year is too many for me for him to be drafting 50th wide receiver. So I'm going to take Cole Beasley there, lock in that awesome value, keep it moving. Matt Ryan is available still. Kirk Cousins, Baker Mayfield, Carson Wentz. Don't really love much of any of them. Matt Ryan, though, they could get Kyle Pitts at 4. Surround him with a plethora of weapons with Julio, Ridley, and him. So for that upside, I am going to draft Matt Ryan. Lock in that QB spot with a solid option. Carson Wentz is still available. I do think Wentz could have a big bounce back year. The weapons there aren't great, but the offensive line is, and that'll give him time to throw. And they could go get more weapons in the NFL draft as well. I'll take Mike Davis from Atlanta. He could potentially get some work down there. They don't take a running back in one of those first 2 picks, although I honestly expect them to do that. But you never know. I'm going to take Carson Wentz. Oh, he was drafted. Dang it. Just missed him. But let's see if there's anybody else down here that I believe in as a quarterback for fantasy. Honestly, I would think about Ryan Fitzpatrick. I would take him. He was pretty fantasy relevant on those. Actually, I'm going to take Jameis Winston. I think he could be absolutely dynamite for fantasy football this year. He's being valued way, way, way too low. So I'm going to take him there. And I'll take Nelson Agholor, actually, in New England. He could get a big target share with that giant contract. So we'll take him there, and that'll round out our draft. And then I'll go over to the team. Okay, so at quarterback, we got Matt Ryan. At running back, we got Derrick Henry. At our RB2, we have Antonio Gibson. Our wide receiver 1, we have Amari Cooper. Our wide receiver 2, Cooper Kupp. Tight end, George Kittle. Flex, Raheem Mostert. Our bench, we've got Deebo Samuel, Jerry Jeudy, Devin Singletary, Phillip Lindsay, Cole Beasley, Mike Davis, Jameis Winston, and Nelson Agholor. If you guys made it to this point in the video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button down below to stick around for all the content, especially the content that will be coming later this week covering the NFL draft. Check out that mock draft I just did. Leave all your questions and comments in the comment section down below, and I'll respond. As always, until next time, this is Fantasy Joe signing off. I'll see you guys.